Calls have been off the charts. It's opening day. Opening day in Major League Baseball. We're extra fired up. We gave you our playoff teams to start the show. Yankees, White Sox, Angels. I don't think the A's and Astros have the rosters they had last year. Blue Jays and Twins are my AL playoff teams. I'm going with the Braves, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Mets as my NL playoff teams. And once again, I'm taking the Dodgers over the Yankees for the World Series. Dodgers over the Yankees. I was obsessed with that interview we did with Cody Bellinger. I thought he brought a lot of great stuff to the table. So fired up for opening day. Mets fans have flooded our phone lines today. They are rightly juiced and energized that their baseball team able to sign Francisco Lindor to that megabuck contract right before opening day. I am pumped to watch the Astros and A's tonight and see the Astros get booed. I'm really fired up for DeGrom and Scherzer. Garrett Cole takes the mound for my New York Yankees, your New York Yankees, our New York Yankees. Garrett Cole is on the bump in 2 hours. How sweet is that? That is awesome. We gave you some over-unders we loved in terms of the Red Sox under 80.5. The Dodgers, I think, are going to be classic this year. Taking the over 102.5. Over Padres 94.5. Over Blue Jays 86.5. Over for the Phillies 80.5. Over for the Milwaukee Brewers at 82.5. So that is a big topic for discussion. Major breaking news, middle of last hour. We were all over it. Roy Williams has called it a legendary career. Not exaggeration to say he saved North Carolina basketball. 485 and 163 in 18 seasons as the North Carolina head coach. Won 3 championships. We gave all the nuggets of domination for the great Roy Williams. What a career. And this is a coveted job. And if you're North Carolina, you're not hiring an assistant coach. You're calling anyone and everyone. I mean, you're going up and down the list of guys with jobs who are phenomenal at what they do in college basketball. And you're saying, hey, top 2 job in the sport is open. Let's go. Let's go. That's the mentality here. So that is a major topic for discussion. We gave you our awards for the baseball season yesterday. Juan Soto is my pick for National League MVP. National League Cy Young, I'm going Jacob deGrom. American League Cy Young, Garrett Cole. And Mike Trout's, obviously, right? And Trout, by his own admission, was disappointed in last season. Only 5th for MVP last year. I'm picking the Angels to make the playoffs. You heard Bellinger talk about the marketing of Major League Baseball. Let me tell you, Mike Trout should be celebrated like LeBron and Tom Brady. I mean, this is absolutely one of the all-time great athletes in the history of baseball. I think he's en route. I know he's en route to being the greatest of all time. What he has done, it's mesmerizing. Look, half the country doesn't see him when he plays his games at 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. He doesn't play in October because the Angels have been mismanaged forever. But never take what Trout does for granted. This is next level in terms of baseball genius. Aston Oakland, our good friends. Next shot on sports.
Adam, for the first time in 16 years, I can say happy opening day for my defending champion LA Dodgers.
Ooh, S, you just gave me the chills right there. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome.
Adam, I was already celebrating last night, so I woke up late this morning. Unfortunately, I missed the Bellinger interview, so I'm going to have to go back on demand on the award-winning Sirius XM app and listen to that interview. I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to love it. And we did the interview on Zoom so you could see the facial expressions that I referenced. So Belly was phenomenal. He was very into it, as you heard, and I love what they've done with the Sirius XM app. So if you missed it, the interview is up on the Sirius XM app. Bob Stew, Evan Neal does an unbelievable job with all the Schein on Sports, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sports Department videos. So phenomenal, phenomenal job.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So here we go, Adam. Opening day, and this team is just absolutely loaded. I didn't think this team would get better than what they had last year. And what did they do the offseason? Go out and get Bauer. Price is back now, and amazing. Price is a sixth, seventh starter on this team. He's a guy who's going to be coming out of the bullpen, and he's willing to take that role. He's accepted it. He's happy to be back. He's happy to be playing. And I give a lot of credit to Dave Roberts. He could have gone with a popular choice with the name, but no, he stuck with his guns, and he went with Brad May, which I think Brad May, you look at him in the spring training, and he absolutely deserved that fifth spot. He earned it. This is a guy who's got electric stuff, young kid, and he needs to get that experience. He needs to get those, know that he is the man. I mean, eventually he's going to be probably the number 2 starter on this.
I want to hit a couple of things you just said home because they're not minor deals. Number one, look, Clayton Kershaw, my generation, Sandy Koufax, best. You can make the case, best pitcher in baseball history. We've made that case. He just needed that World Series. He got it. He was brilliant in the postseason en route to it. You know, he's the third best pitcher on the team. You know, Trevor Bauer and Walker Buehler debate the order. They're really 1-2. Opening day is an honor, and Kershaw is still great, and he deserves to get the ball. He deserves to get the ball, as you just said, deserves to get the ball after winning the World Series. Yes, he deserves it. That is a tremendous job by Dave Roberts, and a tremendous job putting May in the rotation. You know, David Price, you could yo-yo. And I know what you're paying him. You had to take the salary because of Mookie Betts. You had to just bring him on the roster. You can deal with David Price, starter, reliever, let him clean the clubhouse, whatever he needs to do. Dustin May's upside is so great. Give him that confidence here for the upcoming season.
No, definitely. I mean, then you got also Tony Gonsolin, who eventually will be a starter for this team as well if he stays with them. Of course, my only question mark is Kenley Jansen. I mean, he did a decent job last year. I mean, he had a good comeback, but still, I mean, there are some questions about him whether or not he'll be able to to return to form as he has in the past. But this team, this lineup, up and down. Mookie Betts, Bellinger. They brought back Justin Turner, which I was excited about. I was sad to see Kike go. You know how much I love Kike Hernandez. They got McKinsley though as a Swiss Army knife kind of guy who you could put pretty much anywhere. But this team is absolutely loaded. This team, it's going to be disappointing if they don't.
I think this is going to be a historically great team. And I think that, you know, in the past, there was always so much pressure on winning that big one, winning that championship, and rightly so. But look, that pressure's off. I think you guys are going to kick ass and take names. And it's amazing to consider, you know, you heard the interview, or you'll hear it, you missed it, with Bellinger. You'll see it and hear it on the app. I mean, Bellinger barely joined the party in the regular season last year. So there are so many examples with Bauer, with Bellinger, full season of Dustin May being a starter, why this team can be even better in the regular season and then more relaxed and dominant in the postseason. Okay, we have two major pieces of breaking news from the Department of Air out of the proverbial balloon, and just a reminder of what's going on. Buster Olney broke the story. The Mets-Nationals game postponed due to COVID issues. Oh, that sucks. The Mets-Nationals game tonight, I said in the monologue that was my favorite matchup in terms of starting pitchers. Mets-Nationals game postponed due to COVID issues. So that's what we know and what we have right now from Buster Olney. And there's a big piece of college basketball news, according to Jeff Goodman from Stadium. Texas is hiring Texas Tech head coach Chris Beard, which is a fantastic hire. And listen, you know, it can't sit well with Texas watching Texas Tech do what it's done under Beard And you look at Baylor and you look at Houston in the great state of Texas with their great coaches in the Final Four. And Shaka Smart, did he leave because he was going to be fired? He takes the Marquette job. There's an upgrade, and I like Shaka Smart a lot. Chris Beard is a major, major upgrade. So that's an excellent, excellent hire by Texas. There's going to be expectations, but he'll have the facilities. Obviously, he'll recruit. Chris Beard is a better coach than Shaka Smart. So, two pieces of breaking news. Chris Beard is now the head coach at Texas, according to Jeff Goodman. And Buster only broke the story. Mets Nationals. Man, this sucks. Mets Nationals game tonight is postponed due to COVID issues. Damn, that's just an unfortunate, sobering reminder. Chris in Oakland, our good friend. Next on Sports.
Hey, Schein, how you? Yeah, real quick before I talk about the baseball, you're right about the Beard. What a great hire. I like Shaka Smart, but the guy's got a lot of mileage out of that little run VCU's made. I really thought he was going to do a better job at Texas, and
Me too.
I definitely think Beard's going to do a better job. But also called to tell you, okay, I was driving along. Love your show, Schein. I love your opinions. You're out of your mind if you think the Angels are going to be within 10 games of the Astros and the A's. This team's got no – and you're right. Mike Trout is phenomenal. I as much as I can't stand watching him destroy the A's, I feel privileged that I get to go watch this guy play, 10, 15 times a year in Oakland. But, dude, the A's, Chris Bassett, Jesus Luzardo, Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, Mike Fiers is your fifth starter. They've got the best starting rotation in the division, maybe the best in the American League. They were young. Last year was such a weird year. They really didn't. They showed flashes of brilliance. This is the year I believe that young rotation really puts it all together. Matt Chapman will be back. We won the division without him pretty much last year. Best corner infielders in baseball. I think this is a 95 to 100 win team. Not saying they're going to win the World Series because I agree with you. I believe the Dodgers are going to be on a mission to show all the people that said there's an asterisk last year didn't count.
Which is garbage. Yeah, absolute garbage.
I agree 1,000%, but I think that's going to be a motivating factor. And as a San Francisco Giants hater, anything that the Dodgers do well, I love because it drives the Giants fans nuts. They're going to continue.
By the way, Chris, let me get back to your incredible point about the A's. You're 100% right about the rotation. It was difficult for me to leave the A's out. I agree with everything that you said. I made sure in my fantasy baseball league I drafted Chapman. I think Chapman's one of the best all-around players in the American League. He's got a power bat, great glove. I think you nailed it. Look, I think there's upside with the Angels. Whether it's Heaney, whether it's Ohtani, whether it's Cobb, Bundy. I think there's a ton of upside. I thought they did a hell of a job in terms of addressing the bullpen. That's my out-of-the-box pick. I want to make sure I pay off your intelligence because you're bringing a lot of great facts, and I love your anger and the fact that you're pissed off that I didn't put the A's in the postseason because a lot of your points are spot on.
I won't say angry and pissed off. Perplexed maybe is a better.
Okay.
But I agree with you about upside with the Angels. But historically, when they're in the middle of these runs, you can bank the A's from 95 to 102 wins. I believe that, and I believe the Astros are actually going to take a step back. I think it's more reasonable that the Angels overtake the Astros, losing Springer. Still don't have Verlander this year. Yep. I just don't think they have the pitching to get to the 95 to 100 wins it's going to take to win the AL West. And I'll call it here once again. What's this? Did Roy Williams retire? A friend of mine just shot me.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about, Chris. He retired, and it's a run for the ages, and it's a tremendous career by Roy Williams. So he saved North Carolina basketball for all the reasons we've documented throughout the course of the morning. That was a big news drop by Roy, and it's also one of those you just remind. It's April 1st. Like, well, let's make sure this is true. Roy Williams' legendary career at North Carolina. Jay in San Antonio, our good friend. Action on Sports.
Hey, son, how you doing?
Hey, Jay, what's cooking?
A quick question before I get to my sports take. I watch you a lot on Time to Shine at 5, and I was wondering, I know because the NCAA tournament's kind of been hit and miss. You were on yesterday, and then the day before you weren't. So do you know when you'll be back on consistently every night?
Every night's forever. Yes, unless, of course, there's a soccer game. But March is always a little funky. First of all, I love your dedication to Time to Shine. Second of all, we all whenever there's a tournament game, we're not on because they have the bracket shows, which is great. So that ever since we started in 2015, starting with the first tournament in 2016, it makes sense. They always have those bracket shows. So, and there were a couple of days we missed because of soccer with UEFA and the incredible coverage that they have on CBS Sports Network, on Paramount Plus. So, I always ask in terms of the upcoming schedule. As of now, there are no dark days for Time to Shine between now and the rest of our lives. Obviously, that will change, Jay, but I appreciate you asking. Yes.
No problem. I'll just two quick points with the Red Sox since their game is rained out. Now, David Price, here's my thing with him, and I don't want to go back and relive this. There was a combination of both where the media was on him tough. He didn't have thick skin. I was glad when he won the World Series, but you got guys like Dan Shaughnessy slamming him. Then you had him and Dennis Eckersley beefing, and then he got carpal tunnel from playing video games in the clubhouse. I mean, it was so much of everything with Price. I was just pissed to see him walk because I know at the end of the day when he won the World Series, Dan Shaughnessy, I think he called him out. He's saying, hey, where are y'all at since I'm winning? But when he was
Jay,
losing,
I have to tell you, I always hated David Price's act. And I hated when the Red Sox signed him because, it's all ball all the time in Boston. He was such a terrible postseason pitcher. From the Department of Pigs Might Fly, he was phenomenal in the postseason in 2018. And, I always have to give that to David Price. But listen, I am I'm not a Price guy. But he will always have that over me, you, and other haters that he did have that one unreal run in 2018.
And with Dennis Eckersley, I really appreciate him as a play-by-play guy. I mean, he's going to call you out. He's not going to baby you. He's not going to hold your hand. He's going to call you out when you play poorly. And I guess Price couldn't take it because he was a little bit sensitive and always complaining to the media. But Eckersley, he deserves a lot more credit. In fact,
I think Eckersley is phenomenal on television. And Jay, brilliant stuff. Appreciate the call. Listen, Eckersley is a color analyst, studio analyst for NESN, does a wonderful, wonderful job. And Jay, you're 100% right. He always got under the skin of David Price. Always got under the skin. Very, very, very sensitive. We will keep it on the phones on baseball opening day. We will also sprinkle in some cause for concern on your Green Bay Packers right after this.